Welcome back to Schullights. I'm going to do a quick video in response to some discussion we were having on our flashlight over at Reddit about the Synergy 2. This is one of my favorite lights ever, actually. It's definitely in my top 5, maybe even top 3. And when it comes to American-made lights completely made in the United States, this is my favorite. So I've got 2 here, and I just wanted to quickly kind of go over why I like it so much and some of the design features. So it comes in this great little case here, and the light itself, you'll notice, is kind of unique in shape, and that's because of the fact that it's a side-by-side light. What that means is there's 2 batteries side by side. So if you unscrew this here, it opens up basically AA cavities. You can see that 2 fit right there. Now, this leads me to one of the cool things about this light. It is multi-chemistry, and it'll take lithium ion like these. These are 14500s, or it'll take alkaline, nickel metal hydride, NiCad, lithium cells, whatever is this shape, as long as it has a button top, if you stick it in there, it's going to work. And another really cool feature about it is you don't even need 2. You can put 2 in there and they run in parallel for extra runtime, but you could take 1 alkaline, like this guy right here, stick it in either slot, and screw it back on there, and the light functions perfectly. So this is a really, really good light to have on you, or like when you travel, because if you're not near a charger and your light dies, just basically anything you shove in there will work. Now let's take a look at the light itself. It has a kind of unique look and shape to it. And by the way, now that I have 1 alkaline in there, it's considerably lighter. So to all the people that say that this light is too heavy, remove a cell. Remove a cell, and you might say, well, then what about the added bulk from its shape? And I love the way it fits in my hand. It kind of a pistol grip, kind of like this, with your finger here on the activation button, I should say. And you just click and turn it on. Now, let's talk about the UI a little bit here. So this is basically a ramping UI, and think of this as an E-switch. It is an E-switch. So 1 press turns it on, 1 press turns it off. It's a press button. And if you press and then press and hold, it ramps up, and then press and hold till you get to the top, press again, it'll go back down, double click for turbo. When it's off, press and hold for moonlight. So it's a very easy to use interface. Now, it doesn't have all the bells and whistles of something like Endurial, but I actually like that because I find I misclick pretty frequently with Endurial. I find that, in the middle of the night when I get up and I'm kind of bleary-eyed and not quite there, I will try to unlock my light and accidentally blind myself or wake my sleeping spouse. So in a light like this, it's just kind of dummy-proofed for me, and so I find I use it a lot more as a bedside table light and at night. Now, it also fixes a really important problem that I have with Endurial, which leads me to those unlocking problems, and that is that accidental clicks, right? That's a bad thing for your pocket. You could light something on fire. So Endurial has a locking sequence, or auto lock, where the light locks out, then you click 4 times by default, and on Endurial 2 it actually comes on. Well, so I'm faced with a dilemma, right? If I got this light at night, and let's say I'm not going to cup it. I mean, cupping it is an obvious thing, but I'm talking about just using the light normally. If I click 4 times, it's going to come to on, and if I have the on set to moonlight, well, that's annoying for daytime use, because who wants to unlock to a light that's on but you can't see? But so then I'll probably not have it set to unlock to moonlight, and then it's like I'm blasting people. It's annoying, and sometimes I will, click 4 times, not notice it's on, click again, go to turbo. You get it. Okay, so what's great about this light is the lockout is not in the E-switch at all. It's mechanical. This turns, so it just kind of turns, and not very far, like that far. Just what is that? 1/8 of a turn. And it's easy to do, when you're holding it. You just boop, 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 real easy. So what I find is I just lock it out, I'm good. Unlock, turn it back on. You can also lock it while it's on. I don't know what that would serve, but it's possible. So that's the basic operation of the light. Now let me show you some things that you wouldn't know about it. So one thing you wouldn't know is that it feels great in your hand. It just, the anodization and this kind of curve here, it has grips on the side, so I've never dropped it. It's grippy enough. But when I hold it, it's just got this really awesome feel to it, and my fingers kind of just wrap around this curve and end up in this trough. It just, I don't know how to explain it. I love it. Another cool thing about it is it's the only light I have that has an instantly adjustable clip. So if I got some thick jeans or some sweats on and I want this to be really flexible, in the position it's in right now at this height, it's super springy. I'm barely putting any force on it. But if you loosen the tail cap just a little, you can slide this in, see? You can see on the bottom here, I'm sliding the clip through. And then I retighten it. And now with it sitting low like this, see, I can't even, it's like so tight, I can barely flex it. So that adjustable clip on the fly, I find to use it way more than I thought I would. I find that, you know, I'll be carrying this light, maybe I'm at like Disneyland, amusement park like that. I will instantly tighten it so that it can still ride in my pocket and I know I won't lose it. This light is just practically perfect for me. I mean, the runtime is insane. You put 2 lithium-ion batteries in it. You know, it used to, I'll state this now. One of the things the light doesn't have is a battery level check. And that used to really annoy me until I started using this light a lot. And then what I realized is compared to my other lights, with its single emitter, efficient driver, which is made in the United States, by the way. The whole light's made in the United States. The only thing that's not is the LED itself, right? The emitter. But everything else, the PCB, everything's made in the United States. It's such a good driver, so efficient, that on the two 14500s, I'll go running with it at a medium level, you know, and my run's about 30, 40 minutes. I get home and the batteries, instead of it being, 4.2 to start, they're like 4.13, 4.15, something like that. And so what I find is I can run all week long without recharging it. So I find that the battery check just is a non-issue because there's so much battery power. And think about this too. For a 14500 light, it has 2. So this is ostensibly a 2000 milliamp hour battery. So it's almost like an 18650 light, but it's much thinner in my pocket. So anyways, I'm ranting about that. But the one thing that I don't like about the light, and it was easy for me to fix, is it comes with a bright but green Samsung emitter. I'm on a blue sheet here. That's not going to do any good. Here, let's take a white receipt paper. Here we go. Okay, so let's. I don't have any exposure lock or anything on, so we'll see how the video does. This is LH351D Samsung at 5000K, and I emitter swapped to a, there we go. You can see the difference. I emitter swapped to an Nichia 519 over here. This is the SM503, so it's a 5000K, just like this one, but I de-domed it, obviously. So it dropped about, oh gosh, a lot. It dropped almost down to 3500. It's almost 1500K. Well, that's not really true because if you know Nichia 519, they don't even start where they claim to. They are rated as 5000K, and then you run it with the dome, and it's like 4700, 4600. So it dropped about $1,000, and then it became much more under BBL, where you can see the green in this one compared to the rosiness over here. So the emitter swap went pretty darn easily. The pill inside is so unique. The first time you open it up, and by the way, it's very easy to open up and redo multiple swaps. The way it's designed, it's got like a locking mechanism in there that one piece, you unscrew something and one piece turns and it comes out. It's really neat. So very innovative light. One of my, as I said, probably in the top 3, the more I think about it. I mean, I love Henko. Yeah, my top 3 are probably Henko. Well, Boss is the number 1. Overready Boss, amazing light. Henko's number 2, and then I put the Synergy as number 3. And in those 3, since the Boss is mostly made in the US, but the electronics are made in Russia, the honorary title of Best American Made Light would go to the FreLux Synergy 2.